Well, hello, friends and fans of Rock and Roll Love Palace. Unfortunately, today is not going to be a rock and roll video. It's going to be concerning what has happened yesterday at Mar-a-Lago in Florida. Yes, that's right. Donald Trump's house was raided by the FBI, as I'm sure by now we're all hearing about it. Never before in the history of this country has former president been persecuted. Even while he was president, with his so-called Russian collusion and all this other crap, and that's what it was, crap, they couldn't get him on nothing. They impeached him twice, and unsuccessfully, if you ask me. As I understand an impeachment, none of it got anywhere. Now, and on top of that, January 6th so-called insurrection. The only person who was killed was a civilian, a vet, I think an Air Force vet or an Army vet. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But killed by a policeman who, as I understand it, has a record being very reckless with his weapon. I mean, I don't. That's just what I heard. I do not have any evidence. I don't have any paperwork, pictures, witnesses, so on and so forth. If that's the case, he should not be a police officer. Hell, I believe they gave him an award for killing somebody. That's a hell of a prize. That's a hell of a prize, I guess, for knocking someone off. But at any rate, you can't tell me someone like Hillary Clinton, who had a server in her bathroom at her private residence handling classified information. Yes, I know, as I understand it, it wasn't illegal for her to do that, but at the same time, it wasn't the most smartest, safest thing to do. It just wasn't. God forgive me, I'm having to take a drink. I was out fishing earlier this morning, and I sweated like a whore in church, man. It was just, I got a little dehydrated. I didn't fall out or nothing, but I did catch something, a crab. I can catch the hell out of them. But at any rate, if you people out there, whether you like Trump or not, I liked him to a large degree politically, but I did not like his personality. You know, and I didn't. I think he's an asshole. But I tell you what, he was getting the job done. Whether you believe that or not, if you don't, that's your fantasy. You can believe it any old way you want. But he was doing his job. Unlike this idiot that's in there now, who got the inflation reduction bill passed through the Congress and the Senate, I believe. Are you kidding me? Have y'all even looked into that? They hired, not only, it's got a bunch of climate change crap, which is bullshit. And if you don't believe that, let me just read this to you real quick. It's very short, because I'm old enough to remember this. In the 1960s, they said oil would be all gone in 10 years. Well, it's still here, you know. In the 1970s, another ice age in 10 years. I distinctly remember that when I was a little kid. More bullshit. In the 1980s, acid rain would destroy all cities in 10 years. I do remember that very, very clearly. I was wondering about that back then myself. In the 1990s, the ozone layer will be destroyed in 10 years. Well, I think it's still here. Otherwise, there would be no life left on this planet. In the 2000s, the ice caps will be gone in 10 years. They're still there. There is a climate change, as in a cycle that this Earth goes through, you know, every so many thousands of years. But none of it happened. But it all resulted in more taxes, and that's what this bullshit bill that they're gonna. That idiot, that senile. He's not senile. I think he's got cognitive issues for sure. I mean, you can just hear him. You know, he can't even form. I can make a better sentence than he can, and I'm a moron. You know, completely. But I don't know. Um, if they can do that to him and prosecute him and persecute him, like, well, they're not going to be able to prosecute him, but persecute him like they're doing, how much more would they not do it to you? When they come out and find, oh, you use Cash App, you owe some taxes. What? Because I borrowed some money to help pay my rent? Or I needed some food and someone was kind enough to loan me some money? We were doing, I know Brenda and I were doing pretty okay. We wasn't rich. I'm not rich at all. I'm so far from rich, it's not even funny. But I know Brenda and I were okay. We didn't have to really worry about it. Now, high gas, and we're supposedly not in a recession. They changed the definition of that. I don't know what the hell that's about. Well, actually, I do. It's some kind of Marxist agenda, if you ask me. But all I can tell you, people, I mean, I keep hearing rumors that there's going to be food shortages. We already got, not gas shortages, but it's going to be so high it's not even funny. You know, I do not advocate violence. I think that's the most wrongest way to go. Nothing politically ever done, except maybe for the American Revolution, has been done through violence that accomplished anything. Nothing. You know, I don't recall anything on top of my head. Because I'm not reading from a script. I know some people, when they get on their channels, they do that. I usually just go off the top of my head. In fact, you know, other than making fun of the alphabet community, you know, and about them, I don't really give a shit. You know, just don't push your agenda down my throat. You know, just leave me alone. You know, because I've had gay friends. I had a really good gay friend years back until he told me that he didn't want to associate with anybody that who was a birther. And I said, "What the hell is a birther?" He's, you know, someone that is a heterosexual, apparently. Really hurt my feelings. I knew him for a number of years, and I didn't care what he did in the privacy of his bedroom. What does it matter? It's not going to affect my life, you know. But at any rate, I was digressing there for a little bit because I do miss my friend, but he apparently didn't want to be my friend. Okay, you know, that's have a nice life, you know. But these actions going on is completely and utterly un-American. I'm a true blue American, and as you probably guessed by my accent, I am a Texan, and I'm too old and sick anymore to want to be radical. But I do know this, that what they're doing is very, very un-American. Not just that, everything. But yet, people that have certain flags, like the "Don't Tread on Me" flag and the Gonzales flag, the "Come and Get It" with a cannon on it and stuff like that. They're designating people that fly that as domestic terrorists. Are you kidding me? That's part of history, man. You know, if you call yourself a patriot, you're a domestic terrorist? Are you kidding? For real? In this country? No. Yes, there are some radical people. But I tell you who isn't some domestic terrorists. Those son of a bitches called Antifa and BLM. Yeah, I guess I'm a racist now. Oh! You think I really give a shit if you call me a racist? Okay, fine. Let's move on to the next point. I'm not a racist, just for the record. Yeah, I'm just not. You know, I like everybody. I don't care if they're pink with a polka dot tail and a green tip. As long as you act like a human being, you know, hey, we're cool. Though that would be kind of interesting to see a human being with a tail like that. But at any rate, I guess the whole point is, folks, November's just around the corner. And I can tell you right now, if you got any common sense out there, there's 2 points to this about voting, particularly this November, maybe 3 points. If those Republicans, if there is a big red wave, like they're saying there's going to be, I hear it from both sides every 2 to 4 years. There's going to be a red wave, a blue wave, blah, blah, blah. Well, let's find out. But get out there and vote. And then I'll say this: if Republicans don't get in there and get the House and the Senate, then there is some cheating going on. I really don't know 100% sure on some. I think there was some cheating, but I don't know if it was on the scale for someone to get 81 million votes who can't get out there and campaign, who didn't have mass rallies like Trump did. You know, I mean, the guy was wherever I guess at his house talking through a Zoom or whatever through the internet. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't interested in him. I didn't like him. Biden, I remember Biden from way back. He's a professional politician and more full of shit than a Chinese radio. So, get out there and vote, folks. You know, but if the Republicans don't get in there and take all this and start changing this shit, or at least putting a stop to it, so the great cognitive, the great senile one, and put a stop to his bullshit, because it's not just him, it's people behind the scenes, because I just don't think he's that capable of much coherent thought anymore, which is sad to see, particularly if it's a family member, to decline like that, and it's a terrible thing. Because I believe it or not, I've worked in the past. I worked in some nursing homes, and terrible thing about nursing homes, a lot of times families will throw their loved ones in there and forget about them, and that's cold. Cold, man. You can cut it any old way you want, and I know there comes a time you have to have some help when someone is in their late years and they're going to pass away and such, but to just forget them, because I worked there. It was about 2 years I did that, and I went through the Christmas holidays and Thanksgiving and all that. Some families come and got their people, but most didn't, and just left them there to rot and die and be lonely. That's a hell of a way to be, man. Hope they sleep good at night. I bet they. Some probably do, unfortunately. But I'm digressing again. If they don't get back in there, the conservatives, the real ones, not like that bitch Liz Cheney. She ain't. Why don't she just go out and become a Democrat or proclaim herself one? I don't know, because she's about as much as a Republican as that wall over here, and she's not a Republican or a conservative. I don't know what the hell. I think she's just a fucked up bitch, frankly. And Mitt Romney too. Now you talk about, boy, he's a real winner, and I hope they get voted completely out of office. That's in a different state, not my state, and not welcome here. At any rate, if they do not get back in there, then there is some cheating going on, and then we need to do other actions to change things back to the democratic republic that this country is supposed to be. I will add this. Yes, I've said my piece. I haven't been very clear on a lot of things. I'm a little flustered, and well, not so much flustered as I am tired at the moment. I stayed up late, got up early, and washing clothes and stuff like that. But all I can say is, folks, we can still change this country back to the way it was, and it beats the hell out of what it's trying to become now. Electric cars? Are you kidding me? The goddamn power grid couldn't even stay on during the winter. Now they want you to charge cars all night long so you can drive maybe 350 miles, maybe. And it's not, but it takes oil to run the power plants to charge the cars. Think about that. And so it's kind of stupid. And I understand, and someone was telling me, that the batteries only last 3 or 4 years, and they're super expensive to replace. I don't know. I'm not even. I considered a electric car at one point. I looked into it, and when I found out you could only go maybe 300 miles, I'm like, well, shit, you burn that up going around town, And So I declined. I didn't get one, nor do I want one. Is oil going to last for eternity? No, no. Will electric cars be the thing in the future? Yes, when the technology is there. Perhaps if they put it like an alternator in it, where it would charge itself as you're going down the road. Not a bad idea. Hell, Elon, give me a phone call. We could talk. But at any rate, folks, all I can say at this point in moment in space and time, that the only way to change this is vote. Don't get out there and go get a gun and start shooting people that don't agree with you politically, left or right. That's stupid. I mean, that is the most fucking ignorant goddamn thing you could ever do in your life. Because all you're gonna do is just hurt. You'll end up dying. Though someone else will die, and that's a very heavy burden to carry upon you. And it'll just destroy this country like what they're doing right now. Now they're saying the White House didn't know that they can go raid old Trump. You want to believe that, man? I got a bridge in Brooklyn. I'll sell you real cheap, man. $10, it's yours. You don't think they didn't know about it? Yeah, they know about it. They can sit there and say what they want, but they knew. It's so stupid about this so-called insurrection crap. I just never in my life thought I would. I mean, if you wanted an insurrection, I could. What is Antifa and BLM doing, burning down cities and buildings and being backed by prosecutors by an individual named George Soros, he's done come out and said he's not going to stop. He's some kind of billionaire who hid from the Nazis and would help after they took people off to concentration camps during that time period. He would go off and help people get these people's things out of their house after they were gone. And he said it was the best time of his life. I got that very video. That's telling, making that kind of statement about what kind of person he is. Now you talk about, now I believe he's an immigrant from Hungary, I believe, and if I'm not mistaken, if you become a citizen of this country, which he is now, that if you go off and doing things of a seditionist type nature, which is that is sedition right there, because these prosecutors are not putting people in jail. They're letting them go because there's this racism and Klansmen everywhere. And I can tell you right now, there is a Ku Klux Klan, but you got 10 people in one state and 2 in another, and maybe 1 up in Alaska. You ain't gonna do much with that. And who would want to anyway? It's not like a bunch of crazy stuff to me. But on both sides of that coin, I don't know, people. But someone like that, I believe, like I was saying, his citizenship should be revoked. For doing that, it really should. Who knows? I know what president won't be, particularly with the idiots that's in D.C. right now. Hell, both sides of the aisle. And that's another thing. If the Republicans do get back in there, don't sit on your goddamn ass and not do nothing. Do something. Do something good for the American people. Because this shit that's going on now is not good for not just this country, but for the people. You people go to the grocery stores. I usually go to the grocery store by myself because Brenda's health and all. And I've seen the empty shelves. I've seen the prices higher than hell. I've seen the gas high. Man, it's dropped a little bit, but I'm going to tell you right now, that's just window dressing. And I didn't think that the president had that power to lower the gas prices. So I've been hearing about it. Now all of a sudden, he's lowered it. Well, that's a contradiction in terms, to say the least. Well, I'm about done with my rant. Like I said, I got to go put clothes in the dryer here. So, there it is. At any rate, I just seen something Brenda and I was looking for earlier, and there it is, bigger in Dallas. Is that, yeah, both of them. But at any rate, try to have a wonderful day. Keep your chin up. Don't let it get you down. Just a little rough patch in the road here. But I am a little worried about, they're going to have 87,000 new IRS personnel to audit people who make under 400,000 a year. Hell, even with Brenda and I combined, we don't even hit I think it's right at 23,000. Maybe, yeah, or something like that. And try to live on that. It sucks, It really does. But anyway, like I said, keep your chin up. Don't let it get you down. We'll get through this. But come November, vote them son of a bitches out of office who ain't doing their job and get people in there that will. That's the only thing you can do. Now, don't take up arms and start shooting politicians and shit, because I don't never solve nothing. That just makes us like some kind of third world country. And we're not a third world country yet, but by actions like what they're doing, damn sure headed in that direction. And man, I've been down to South America. I worked down there in various factions, and I've been to those places where their civil wars have gone on and were going on. I don't know if it's still going on down there or not, but man, you don't want none of that action, dude, or dudettes. Not at all. Oh, I just noticed my thing wasn't completely done. But at any rate, kids, that's about the end of my rant. I'm done. The rest is up to you, and I guess eventually up to me. Try to have a good day. I'm trying to. I kind of doubt that I will, though. Bye.